Well, there's one way to put up a fence, right? Hey there, neighbors, welcome back to CG Family Farm. As you can see, today we're going to see how we're going to be able to put up a farm style fence up on that slope, alright? It's going to be a little how-to video because, like myself, I like to do a lot of research. I like to try it for myself, and now that I learned how to do it, I want to share that knowledge with you guys, alright? So let's follow along. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Why are these boards so crooked, right? Why are they just put up like that? There's a reason why I put up those boards like that. The reason being is that whenever you're going to do on a slope, I've learned that it's better that you put the majority of your posts as far as you can go at one direction, because I know like over here we're going to do a 90 and we're going to take off to the left. But if you have one complete direction like this one, you want to go ahead and put them all. And in order to be able to make sure you have the correct spacing, the correct level into them, then you want to go ahead and put one board in between these two posts. That way, that's kind of your guidance point. Alright, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This string right here helps us maintain a straight line. We put the string down from one side all the way to the other, and that'll help us guide those posts as close as possible to our string, and the result will tell us we're in a straight line. But even though we may have these posts in a straight line, we still have to make sure that they're level upright. So for example, this one, as you can see, we're level right there. The only reason we're going to be able to stay level whenever we put our concrete or gravel in there is if we screwed this board to the last post that we also leveled out. We started down at the bottom of the hill and we made sure that every single one of them was level, and we kept adding boards to secure them in place. So that's why it looks a little bit messy, alright neighbor? But we're gonna fix that right now. Now that you have all your posts in place and that you know that they're all level, now we have to run another string to make sure that our boards are gonna be at the right angle on that slope. That's what we're gonna learn today. That slope is very difficult. I myself have had a hard time with a few other slopes here on the farm, and this one right here, I did my research, I tried out a little bit, and finally I figured out how to make those boards look good at an angle. So that's what I'll be sharing with you. It's fairly easy whenever you gotta do it in a straight line. So like this right here, it was pretty fairly level, so it was very easy for me to just have the first one put on there, use a level, and then follow it through. But then I started to find that low slope. That's where it got difficult. I'll give you a simple little example here that even if it's just one little slope that you're gonna have to deal with, you can do something like this. As you can see, that little bit of a slope, all I did was measure about 13 inches from that post on the bottom and 13 inches on the bottom of that one. Since it's only had one slope to deal with, it wasn't so bad. From there I used my level and I went through to the next one, make sure it's leveled there, and so on and so forth. Now let's move on to the difficult part. So here's where our slope begins. The difficulty about fencing on a slope is that, of course, it's never fully smoothly graded. You got indentions that go low, some that go high, low, and high. And if you follow those indentions and you measure 13 inches, of course, it's going to look very messy like it was before. You're going to have dips, highs, lows, so that's not going to work. So instead, you're going to have to stand back and see exactly where your steepness of the hill is going to start, and then where you can see where it's going to end a little bit, where you can put a string there, and then from there, go to the next angle, and so on and so forth. And I'll show you how that works out. All right. I'm going to tie a string right here to this one. Make sure you have it butt up against the last one you did. Of course, these have the level on them, so I know they're exactly where I want them. Tie a little knot here. There we go. Now we're going to start unrolling this to our next one. The reason why I told you how to put a few posts in the ground is because we're probably going to go as high as the 5th post. That's where our steepness is going to actually have another level. Now here I am gonna measure up to 13 inches because everything in between has a little bit of lumps. This one I feel that it's gonna be a little bit more accurate. So let me get the measuring tape. We're gonna do 13 inches. There we go, 13 inches. That's gonna be the bottom of our board. Let's stand back and see how it's gonna look. See if we can see the string right there. Gonna be much easier to follow that string. Now that we have a spot that we want it here, then we're gonna actually follow a little bit more of a level, because if we would have brought that string to there, then the majority of these posts, we're gonna have the string about a foot higher than where it is right now. So that's why I stopped right there, and I'm gonna have it angled upward towards the next one and see how far I can go. Before moving on to the next one, you want to secure this one in place, because remember, we're gonna go up a little hill, and this, we don't want it to move. So I looped it around once, and I just got some simple little staples. The reason I loop it around is that way I can put my staple here and it won't be in my way whenever I put the boards. Now, on to the next one. Sometimes you can only go about 1 or 2 above, because if you go any higher than that, like you see this little hill, it's gonna have a different slope. So I'm gonna stop right here and I'm gonna measure another 13 inches. Now let's go a little bit more. Stop right here. Again, we only went 2 posts. We're gonna measure right here. Almost there. We're getting to the end of our actual hill here. So after this one, I think I'm gonna be able to actually throw it down about 5 or 6 posts. But for now, since this is where the hump is at, we want to make sure that you only advance 2 at a time. So we'll be able to actually do all the rest of the posts, because we're on a much more level ground now. All right, let's see how that looks. That's much better. This is actually pretty easy because of course we're on flat ground. Let's go see where we have the slope. All right, so I guess there's only one thing left to do, right? Moment of truth. Let's start putting those boards up. That bottom board is the most important board, so take your time, make sure it's straight, make sure you stand back, you like how it looks, because then after you put that bottom board, the rest will follow. we go to the second level. Let's go see how it's looking. We want to make sure we like how that bottom board is, because that's going to be our pretty much our guidance. That's going to guide us to the next one and the one after that. So let's go check it out. Yep, we like it. I think we did a pretty good job there. So now that we got the bottom one, we're gonna start with the second one, go with the third one. But I'm gonna give you a little bit of time so you can like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be right back to show you how the grand finale is of this whole little fence. All right, we'll be right back. That's a wrap, guys. We're gonna go through there, mark the peaks of them, that way we can cut them an angle, because just like the last fence we put up, that's the final process of a fence. Cut the tops off at an angle, that way whenever it rains, has a little bit of runoff. You can also put kind of metal sheets on top of it, or you can, I'm gonna use bed liner that I have left over. I had a whole bucket of bed liner that I used for the truck, and I'm gonna put it on top, and that'll protect the post from the water. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. Let me give you a whole finished product of at least without the piece cut off, because that would make for a way longer video. And then there at the end, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are going to be able to share this video. And like always, guys, it might not be professionally done, but we did it with pride, and that's what matters. Every day that I drive up this driveway, I'm going to be proud of the fence that we put up. And at the end of the day, that's truly what matters, guys. I could have paid somebody else to do it, and they might have been done it a little bit better, more professionally, but it's not the same. So get out there, have some fun, and take pride in what you do every day, guys. All right, take care.